right, this video is going to be on the Yaesu SCU-LAN10, which is this unit you see here, and it's to remote control FTDX10s, FTDX101 MPs and Ds, and if you update the software to the 3.0, it now does the FT710. So those are the 4 radios it's compatible with, and it allows you to remotely access and run your receiver. So what you want to do, I have a 101D, so we're going to go on the 101D, and under there you're going to go Files. Under Files, all the way at the bottom, you see these two SCU-LAN10s? Get both of those files. One's the firmware, one's the software. Okay, I've already got them downloaded. I don't want to download them a 10th time. So then you're going to get the SCU-LAN software. That's the first one you click on. Unzip that, and that's your setup, okay, for the software. And then you're going to do the firmware, unzip that, and that's the firmware file to update it to the newest firmware, and I'll show how to do that later. So just unzip that in a folder, or just drag from this screen. You can drag that onto your desktop or whatever. And then this is the PDF explaining how to update the firmware. It's very simple once you got this file on your computer. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's go back to the SCU-LAN firmware update. And let's see, it's going to be under Downloads. Right here, I unzipped it. And this is what happened. These are the files and folder you unzip. So you got the instruction manuals, operation manual, and we're going to go through just the setup of the software. So it's going to give you another zip file that you're going to unzip and then go to that folder, and it's going to give you this setup. So you're going to run that setup. It takes a little bit. While we're doing that, I will get the installation manual up and running here on the PDF. Okay, I already installed it, so I don't want to uninstall it. Did that not open? Huh, not sure what that's doing. Let's go back and open the installation manual. Okay, we zoom in a little bit. All right, so we've installed the software. So it installs these two files, SCU-LAN10 and SCU-LAN10 setting tool. And let me minimize that. We'll pull up the PDF. Oh, it never did pull up the PDF. Why didn't it pull up the PDF? Where did the PDF go? Try it again. There we go. Okay. Good grief. Here's the SCU-LAN setup. And just to give you an idea of the size, if you have an HRI 200 box for the Wires X system, it's about the same size. Potentially, it's probably the same box. So this is the size of it. About the big as your hand. 2 lights and a reset button, and then your ports on the back. And since this camera's not going to focus in, we'll go over that on the from the installation manual. All right, let's do that. Scroll down here a bit. I told you the radios it's compatible with. It's for Windows with an audio interface and LAN port. You need an internet connection, of course, and you need an Ethernet cable, which does not come with the product. What comes with the product is the box itself and connection cable, which is a 13-pin DIN plug, USB AB cable, 2 ferrite cores, and cable ties. And you can fix those ferrite cores onto the DIN cable here and just loop it through and protect those with the ferrite cores. So one of the things you want to make sure you do, even though it says the 101 series into 10, if you update to the newest firmware that we downloaded, it will also do the 710. And make sure all your main firmware, display, DSP is all updated on your radio as well. And then it should be fine. We scroll down, we got the packing list there. So let's take a look at the box, power status and reset button. The reset button, let's say you've got it all set up and you don't get on it for a while, you forget your login. If you hold that down, 5 seconds, red light will flash instead of green, and it'll reset it to factory default. Then you'll have to go through this whole setup process again. So best not to do that. Here's the ports on the back. You've got the accessory connector. This will plug into your radio. The CAT RS-232C, which if you notice down here, star, for future expansion, it's not used yet. The LAN cable, of course, to connect to your network. USB cable, which connects to your radio. DCN, which I don't use. I don't know why it's there. But there must be a purpose. So ultimately, this is how we want it. We got the internet here connected to our modem, which connects to our router, and you have all your home devices on it, and you're going to have this on there so that it's accessible from another laptop somewhere else on the internet. And that's the goal. And you can run your computer remotely. I mean, your radio remotely. So the first thing we're going to have to do is connect and set up that LAN box. And we're going to do that by connecting direct to the LAN. In this scenario, what they're showing is you could control the radio by connecting direct to the LAN, SCU-LAN box from a laptop. I assume you could also, if this is on your network, you could do it then if this is connected to your Wi-Fi. Similar to this. So if your computer is connected to the Wi-Fi, I assume it works the same as if it's plugged in. And then the SCU-LAN is set up to run on your router. I assume you can control it remotely too if you want to sit in an office or a different room. If you do not have Microsoft.NET Framework 4.0 or better, you're going to need to install that. I assume if you've got Windows 10 or 11 and you keep updated, it's going to have that. You can double check it here. Just follow the guide to look into that. Make sure that box is checked and make sure this is 4.0 or higher. So now we're going to go into the setup. So that setup file, I double clicked on the one we uninstalled or that we unzipped, right? Under the downloads down. It's going to be under here, under SCU-LAN10 firmware software and SCU-LAN software v0300. And there's the setup. You run the setup, it installs 2 programs, just follow the prompts, and it installs these 2 programs right here. Okay. Now next you're going to connect everything. So on the SCU-LAN, we're going to connect the DIN to the radio on my, this is the 101 example, to the accessory port, accessory to accessory port, not using the RS-232. The LAN is going to be plugged directly into the computer, and the USB is directly into the radio, like this. So a Cat5 or whatever cable, the USB into the back of the radio, and the accessory into accessory on the 101D. The DX10, accessory to accessory, USB to USB, LAN to LAN. Same setup. I'm going to assume the 710 AESS is the same. All right. Now here's where you have to change the settings. So I've got to turn off my Wi-Fi. I think I got everything downloaded I need for this video. And then what we're going to do is, the way they explain to do this is to right click on your start, left click on network connections. Then you're going to connect or click on change adapter options right here. Whoop. Change adapter options. And then we're going to look at the Ethernet port. If you have Wi-Fi also, I'm going to disable that just to make sure we don't mess with that. So we're going to, because we're plugged in with the Ethernet cable, right? So we're going to right click that, left click on properties, and then we want to change this TCP IP v4 protocol. So make sure that's checked, highlight that, and click properties. Okay, now I've already done it. So most likely you're going to have obtain IP address automatically selected because your router and or modem, if it's combined or if it's separate, your router will assign your computer the IP addresses. But to change this, we need to set up our own little IP, kind of a little network, and connect to the SCU-LAN. And so you're going to click this box, use the following IP address. You're going to put this IP in 192.168.49.10. You're going to tab down to subnet mask. It should automatically populate this, but you're going to put this in if it doesn't. You're going to leave default gateway blank, and you're going to leave use the following DNS server alone. So, oh, actually they do have that checked. So, okay. So here's where they change that, leave that alone, click OK. So they did have that checked. I'm going to go ahead and check it. Let me just double check. Okay, that's all set. Click OK, and then we're going to click close. Okay, so now we've created that network. I'll just minimize that because we're going to be coming back to that. So the next thing we do is we're going to go to this Yaesu SCU-LAN10 setting tool. And I've not plugged everything in, so let me do that. Get the network plugged in. And the DIN plugged in. Get all that plugged in. The red light flashes a couple of times. And is now flashing green. So then we're going to, let me pull these over here. So then we're going to click on, turn the transceiver on. Got it. Okay. And it's green, still green. We're going to click on this tool now, the tool one, setting tool. And it should automatically see how it's default on this. 192.168.49.1. And the default right here, password and everything is default user. So we're going to do default user. Let me make sure I did that right. Default user. We're going to log in. Let's hope it works the first time. Of course not. Try it again. Of course not. So what I'm going to do is I wonder if I set it up and forgot to reset it for the video. I'm going to hold the reset button down 5 seconds. It's going to flash red, and I'm going to let it go. I'll wait for that to turn green. It's turning green. Let's see. Okay. And let's go ahead and start this again. Just make sure. Get that back in. User. Log in. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to enter a new account. This is going to be your new login that you're going to use. So we're going to do oops. Oops. Success. Okay, now it's going to ask us to log in. Now that we've got our, that basically sets up our own login. Okay. Success. It's logged in. now we need to run, whoop, login error, no, go here. Let me log in. Okay. Now we're here at this screen here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up to work on our network. So this is the setup we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it an address that on my router, I'm going to assign it an address. On my routers, it is, see how this one has an example of 192.168.0.100. You need to access your router, and you need to see what these last two numbers, specifically the third number, is. So mine's not 0, mine's 1. And then you're going to assign it a number here at the end, and we're gonna change it here. So I know mine's 1, and then what I need to do is let's see, default port, that's 50,000. I think we're gonna have to remember that. So let's go to my network. Oh shoot, I can't. I know I don't have any, I'll show you that in a minute. Let me just assign this. I know I don't have any devices assigned 100. So I'm just going to do 100 there. All right. And apply. Let me make sure I got everything done. 255 is right. Okay, so they're telling you to set it, you know, your third number is either 0 or 1 probably. They're saying do a range of 65 to 254. They're probably saying 65 because most people probably don't have 65 devices. So those IP addresses should be free. I'm just going to do 100 like they have here. Let's see. That's set. Apply settings. Configure the account for. Oh wait. Let's wait on this account. Okay, we've got that one set up. Now firmware update. Let me show you that real quick. We'll restart. I'll plug into the network and then we'll see it all set up. So before you apply or do any of this, set the IP to what you want. Basically leave the rest alone. If you want to write this MAC address down, then when we find it on the network, that'll help you assign it this 100. And I'll show you that in a minute. So you might want to write that MAC address down. So go to firmware update. Okay, so as you can see, I've got version 3.0. So this is the most recent version. And what you do is, remember that file I said you can drag onto your desktop or just unzip into a folder and remember where it's at. You're going to click here, and you're going to go to that location and find that file. Actually, I guess I put it under downloads. And that's going to be under the folder that you set up. Wired drivers. Maybe it's this one? No. Good grief. I thought I put it on desktop. I usually do that when I do firmware, unless I deleted it after I did it. It should be under here though, actually. It even says there. So you know what we're going to do is, let's go to quick access. Goodness sakes. Software, oh, maybe it's this one. Nope. Why doesn't it show it here? I don't get this at all. Why it's not showing. It's not under documents. It's not under desktop. Oh, let's try C. You know what? It's easier just to download. Let's do this. Update. Okay, so there it is. It's under that other file that we downloaded, the firmware update. So what you can do is just grab that, drag it out to your desktop, and now File, Desktop, and there it is right there, SCU-LAN10. And what you'll do is you'll open that, click Update, and you'll see a bar here, and it'll update it to version 3.0. All right, and that's how you update that. And then you'll restart the LAN unit. So we've updated that. The account's there. The network is 100. We're going to apply that. Success. And I'm just going to go ahead and restart. Oh, because we're not connected. No worries, I already had it updated. So because we changed this, now we lost connection. Okay, so if you try to connect here, it's not on this network anymore. It won't connect you. Should give me a login error. And of course, it's not going to do it. Okay, so now what we need to do is login error. There it is. So now what I'm going to do is disconnect that cable from the unit that goes directly to my computer, and I'm going to reconnect my computer to my router and connect that LAN unit back to the router. Okay. Plug that in. I'll go ahead and restart it now. We'll see what IP address it gets, but it should grab the 100. And let me now. So remember we changed our IP address, so we got to change that back to get our computer to connect back to our home network. So back to that Ethernet, we're going to right click and left click on Properties, TCP/IP4 Properties, and all you got to do is click this right here, Obtain IP address automatically. Click OK, click Close, and here pretty soon you'll see this connect. There we go. I'm reconnected to my network. Now what you can do is go in to your router, and let's see if it automatically grabbed 100 since we assigned it 100. Somewhere on your router you're going to have attached devices. Let's see if it finds it. Let's scroll down. It's in numerical order. I don't see a 100. Galaxy. Just going to see if it's here. It's all on. TVs, phones, desktops. Okay, I don't see it, so let's... I think it's still plugged in. Yeah, it's plugged in. Okay, so you might have to do this, and I like setting a static IP address anyway. So what we're going to do is somewhere on your router setup, you're going to find something like administration, advanced, one of those. Mine's administration, or no, excuse me. Oh, mine's under setup. And then LAN, local area network, I believe. And right here is address reservation. So I can reserve addresses, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, and it'll list all the ones connected. Let's check it again and see if it's here. And I don't see 100. I don't see it. I hope I changed that 1 to that 0 to a 1, or did I just change the 100? Now I can't remember. Let's hope we don't have to do it again. All right, so let me show you how to do this. So at the bottom here on mine, this is what hopefully I set it at this. Hopefully I changed that 1. You're going to set it here. Look, here's where you need that MAC address. So I copied it. I'm just going to paste it in there, and I'm going to call it SCU-LAN10. All right. And that's it. I'm going to add that. So now when you look at your reserved addresses, here it is, 192.168.1.100, my SCU LAN, and that's its MAC address, its unique hardware address. And I'm going to apply that. Oops, and it looks like it might disconnect people, so I may get a little bit of disgruntled family action in behind me. I'm going to unplug the... And once it's applied, I'm going to restart it. It's still showing network on my computer, so maybe it's not disconnecting us.
Nice, baby.
Did it disconnect?
Yeah.
Oh no. Still shows me connected. It should connect right back up. I'm going to plug that in. Got about 10 seconds. And we'll have happy family again, hopefully. All right, it is set up. So let's go. Let's quit that. All right, let's try and see if we've got it in here. Administration, attached devices. Let's let it populate. Okay, let's hope it's on 100. Come on. My Galaxy's not connected. 56, ring. And I'm starting to think that I did not change the 0 on that. Because I don't even see it in here. Let's go to basic. Because it is plugged in. Yeah, I think I left the 0. I don't think I put the 1 in there. So what we're going to do is, let me try something. Let me just see if it's accessible. I think if we pull up the tools, it'll show. It should be 100. And let's see if it works. Oh, there we go. It works. So I'm not sure why it's not showing on my modem, but and I've got the 1 there. So it is there. Apply. Account. Update. Let's restart. We're not connected. So now we're connected. Okay, so it looks like it works. Maybe it's not even accessing the router, but at least now I showed you how to create a static IP address for your for anything you need in the future if you didn't know how to do that. So after you've got that, and what we'll do is on the next video, we will I'll go over how to actually use it. So once you're connected like this on your remote computer, then you're going to click this SCU-LAN10. It's version 3. Let's see if we can access. Let's see if it gives us access now. And so this is what we'll go over next time. We'll just look real quick. 101. Oh, see the remote address. It's not right. It's 100. Apply. And let's try that again. Let's see what it does. Audio setup. All right, these are things we'll mess with this later. There you choose your radio, your login. The port's right, cat port. So I think that's all right. So I've showed you everything on how to set it up, and it looks like it's connected. I logged in and it was connected, so we're going to call that good. The next video, I'll go over this and how to remote. I'll actually use a different computer, maybe a laptop, and I'll connect remotely and show you basically that you can control your whole radio with this. Push to talk is here. You use a headset. You can actually talk or whatever. So hopefully this helps. I have a feeling there is an issue here with the connection. So if I find something, I will. Let's see if we turn it off. Oh, you got to turn it on. All right. So once you're logged in, you just turn it on here, and here you go. You can see it right here, and basically control your radio. So, all right. In the next one, we'll just make another quick video on using it and how to basically communicate. I'll have a headset, and we'll try to make some QSOs remotely with my laptop on my home network, but not actually manipulating the radio at the radio. One thing when you do this, because this LAN SCU-10 is attached to your USB port on the back of your radio, you no longer have that cat control, because normally that port on the radio is connected to my computer that controls the radio. So I thought I'd play around with maybe being able to attach a signal link, like a secondary, to go to the computer, so that I can leave the remote link always up and also be able to control it locally. But either way, it's working. You can see the waterfall right here, and it's all good to go. So hopefully this helps. Any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer them, and I'll look forward to posting the next video, which will be use of the actual control software and making a QSO. I'll probably do that Sunday night for Sunday Night Live for my Sunday night Ragchew. That's it, everybody. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. 73.